Welcome to Football-Oranje, Northern Ireland nil, Netherlands nil. I'm here with Mike. Mike, Euro 2020 qualification is sealed. That's the brilliant news. But the bad news, I didn't enjoy the game much tonight at all.
No, I mean, it's great that Euro 2020 qualification sealed. Netherlands are back at a major tournament for the first time since 2014. Back amongst the big boys. The crisis is over. We get to look forward to a tournament next year, and tournament Netherlands go into as probably one of the favourites, and plus the fact that they play all their group games in Amsterdam, which is a huge bonus. But tonight was, dreadful to watch. It was a bit of a shocker, really. I think Koeman settled for a draw really early on. His lineup wasn't one that I would have picked. He was obviously missing a few key players, but the ones he did pick, I don't think took their chance. And his substitutions, especially the last one with Nathan Ake coming on, just really proved that he was happy to settle for a 0-0 tonight. And it was a dreadful game to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't one for the neutral, that's for sure. But on the other hand, for me, I thought that despite people being quite critical of Ronald Koeman tonight with some of his team selections, because we saw Steven Berghuis given a start, Ryan Babel start in the striker's role, Veltman picked it right back, Donny van der Beek given a rare start, some different players coming into the lineup. But for me, I thought that it would be harsh to give Koeman such criticism, given that the choices that he was able to make. There's not a lot he could have done with that front three. They're obviously missing Memphis Depay. So can you be critical of Koeman on a night like to this, or actually can you criticise him because it's now 2 games against Northern Ireland where his team has really struggled to create many attacking chances?
I think you can criticise him. For me, his lineup was wrong. Yeah, he didn't have Memphis, but he had 2 strikers on the bench, and he went with Ryan Babel for the middle. You saw it in the second half when Luke de Jong came on. Yeah, he's not the greatest of strikers, but he's more of an aerial threat. He's more of a presence, especially for flick-ons, which would help the likes of Promise. And you saw it when after Luke de Jong came on, he maybe could have won a penalty. He got barged over in the box as a marginal offside. It was maybe the wrong call. If it was me, I would have played De Jong or Weghorst for the middle, Babel on the left, and Promise on the right, rather than seeing Steven Berghuis, who he's not been in good form for Feyenoord this season. He scored a few penalties. I think that's made him look a bit better, and you see his indiscipline. He should have got sent off against AZ a few weeks ago for an absolute shocker of a challenge. He elbowed a goalkeeper at the weekend, but he's still in the squad. Even in a press conference, Koeman had to defend him. Then he picks him in the starting lineup, and yeah, he's really poor, and there's no wonder why he got substituted in the second half. Yeah, he had that chance earlier on that he really should have scored. It looked onto the bar. But I would have much rather seen Weghorst de Jong and even Calvin Stengs starting on the right wing, who's a much better player in form. We don't see what happens in training, but you can only assume that Berghuis had an absolute blind over the past few days, and the Stengs maybe didn't live up to expectations, because if you're basing it on what he's done in the league, Stengs should be starting over Berghuis every day of the week.
On the other side of the coin, the Netherlands had a really good evening in defence. Only the second clean sheet in 8 games they've had, and I do believe the 6th in 18. So positive then that they had a clean sheet tonight, not being too troubled by Northern Ireland, of course. They had no shots on target. But on the other hand, the attack wasn't good enough. And if you have 1 or 2 injuries in Euro 2020, there's no way that the Netherlands are going to be beating those bigger teams. And when they did have a strong lineup against Portugal in the Nations League, they didn't create many chances there either, and that was with their strongest team. What can Koeman do to try and turn this around? Do you think it's as simple as a selection dilemma? Because the way Koeman picks his teams to start with, picks his squads, is through experience and players that he can trust and people that he's played in the past and done well for him. So it's going to be hard for the likes of Calvin Stengs and Wout Weghorst to get into this team because of the principles that Koeman has. Because I guess if you pick Stengs ahead of Berghuis all of a sudden to just go and start for his first cap, isn't that then lowering the reputation of Berghuis in his mind and not going with his sort of trusted players?
Well, for me, you've got to go with the teams that make sense and the players that are in form. Berghuis isn't a player in form at the moment for me, and Stengs is. Stengs is scoring goals and giving assists in the Eredivisie. Berghuis is scoring penalties and giving rather poor performances for a team that's sitting mid-table in the Eredivisie, but he starts because why? Because Koeman trusts him a bit more. I don't see that. For me, Netherlands have a few problems over the pitch, and you see it against teams like Northern Ireland where they struggle to break them down. And one of the biggest problems is the fullbacks. They don't get forward enough. There's no overlapping runs to really trouble the Northern Ireland defence. The crosses weren't really going into the box at the right times. You saw after Luke de Jong came on, there were several positions where there could have been crosses into the box, but instead they played it back or look for another option, and the ball just doesn't go in there because it's just not the way the Netherlands play most of the time. And the other guys struggle with Daley Blind. He's got no pace on the left. He tries to overlap at times. He got in a few good positions tonight, but then on the other side, Joe Veltman just can't do it. For me, I don't see why he should be starting as Netherlands right back, especially when he plays in the centre. I actually say that for Daley Blind as well, but I think you just can't drop him at the moment. Whereas Veltman and Dumfries, it's a worry for me going forward because I don't think that them two are top quality right backs, and that's the position that is a real struggle for me. The right hand side tonight was really poor, and that showed. And sadly, I think we've all been waiting to see Van de Beek in the national team, but that's 2 performances in a row that I've seen him now, and he's not performed. And I think tonight showed just how crucial Gini Wijnaldum is to the national team as well. He scored those 2 goals in the last game, and his presence tonight was missed just as much as Memphis' was.
I agree on the Wijnaldum point because Donny van der Beek unfortunately he didn't have a good night at all. And when he was playing for Ajax in those Champions League evenings, finding those spaces in between midfield and defence, he was really effective. He couldn't do that tonight. A big shame for him, and a huge chance missed to become a regular in Koeman's lineup. An easy thing to say then, against Estonia, I imagine you want to see some changes, you want to see some different players. But the bigger question is Ronald Koeman going to do that? Is he going to change some players around? I mean, surely Berghuis is dropped from the team. He hit the bar tonight for an easier chance and got subbed after about an hour, didn't he? Surely we're going to see Calvin Stengs come into the team.
Yeah, I'd hope so. It's a perfect opportunity. Qualification sealed. Home game against Estonia, you'd see that as an easy win. Why not give Stengs a chance? You can still play Memphis through the middle if he's back fit in time, or even Babel again through the middle, or De Jong. But just play Stengs, give him a chance, give him an opportunity to shine. And I'd like to also see Boadu from the bench. I don't think he'd start with him. I'd rather see Veghorst given a chance for De Jong from the start over Boadu, but I would like to see him from the bench, just give him that cap, round off the year with a good win. It's hard to criticise this Netherlands team because they are doing so much better than what we've seen in the past 4 years. Just tonight was just a bit of a bland performance on what should be such a great night for Dutch football fans. We're finally back at a major tournament, but just tonight was just so bland, and the way that Koeman just settled for it after seemingly like an hour, and there's a passage of play after about 60 minutes where Netherlands just passing the ball to each other at the back with no urgency whatsoever. It's like keep ball for about 10 minutes, and it's frustrating to watch because Germany have overtaken Netherlands now, and Germany are probably going to win the group, and for me that's a shame because I think Netherlands have been the best team in this group and they should be winning it, and tonight was a major opportunity missed. Just a bit more emphasis on the attack in the second half, maybe bringing on types of Stengs instead of going with Ake, or just something different to push out, because Northern Ireland really offered absolutely nothing tonight. Yeah, they got that penalty, but that was an absolute ridiculous decision. Veltman could have done absolutely nothing with the ball hitting his arm there. And Netherlands got lucky that Davis fired it over the bar, but other than that, Northern Ireland were really poor, and it's it's a shame for me that Koeman just settled for it. But yeah, I'd like to see some changes against Estonia. I'll go for a big win to round off the year, and everyone can look forward to next year. The Dutch national team going to a major tournament as one of the favourites.
I think you summarised it really well there, Mike. But I am a little bit more sympathetic towards Koeman. His job was to qualify for Euro 2020, and I think with the minutes ticking down, he thought, I've just got to finish the job. I've just got to see out the result. So I was with him on that one. But I can see that why you're frustrated, Mike, and I can see why many Dutch fans are frustrated tonight with the performance. We just have to hope that it's better against Estonia, that they then turn that on for those March practice games, and then finally at the tournament itself. So many teams will play average now and do so well in the final tournament. Hopefully Netherlands is just one of those as well. Thanks for speaking to me tonight, and hopefully we get a really comfortable win against Estonia and get to see some new players.
Yeah, 2 new debutants would be good, and a big win. It's been a bit of a downer tonight, but it's great to see everyone's back at the major tournament. It's what we wanted, and Koeman has done a great job since he took over tonight. Doesn't change that. And yeah, the good times are definitely still ahead.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to Football-Oranje if you're new. If you like these match analysis videos, show us your support via our social media platforms, and we'll keep delivering. Thanks for watching.